All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer, Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we are going to talk about episode 1 of the new release, Secret Invasion, on Disney Plus right now. Right off the bat, what you guys think, Brandman? What you got?
I liked it. I liked that the more kind of grounded, kind of political thriller vibe to it. We've already kind of technically had like a political thriller technically with Captain America Winter Soldier, but this was, I like the groundwork this one laid. It set up pretty good tone, and it was good enough to keep me watching. And I think some of the guys behind Mr. Robot, if I'm not mistaken, are behind this or involved in some capacity.
Yeah, I think so.
Which you could kind of you kind of get that vibe, So I really liked it, and I think it was enough to really keep me watching for the remainder of the season, especially the way it ended. I'm like, oh no. but yeah, we'll see. I think it was a good enough start.
Okay, what do you think, Brian?
It's some good, some bad. I was kind of in between a lot of stuff. The story is exactly how I thought it was going to go, but it still was kind of disappointing because I was hyping it in my mind a little bit more. And not that, and I think it's good. I think it's going to be a very good series, but for it to be only 6 episodes, I think it has to go. The pacing was kind of off for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I think they're going to have to really explain a lot more stuff going forward. And it really didn't, like, you had to remember what was going on back then. Like, you had, they didn't explain anything from phase 4. None of that stuff mattered. You have to go back to old stuff to try to know where you are. And they didn't really give you a background of that. And then the opening scene stuff, I really didn't like the graphics that they had with the one that was the artificial intelligence that did that.
Oh, the
intro stuff.
Yeah.
It really wasn't my cup of tea, but but I said there's gonna be some good, there's gonna be some bad, but I'm kind of in between.
With the intro, everyone's losing their damn minds. It's a fucking intro. Who gives a fucking shit? You're gonna hit skip anyway. Like, really? Like, I remember watching it and I'm like, that looks weird. Whatever. And then I'm on Twitter and people are like, oh my God, my granny. Yeah, maybe you should have hired an actual artist. But if you want them to, like, I don't know, if you want the artist to spend time on actual CGI or make an intro.
I'd rather them not do that at all and explain catch us up to where we are so we know what his frame of mind thinking.
Wait. You're talking about the intro, like the
intro. Stop wasting our time with that. Give me actual actual information, more time to talk and set up the scene. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just get rid of that stuff. It made no sense. Yeah, I don't care if it's weird or not. I
always hit skip. I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
It looked weird. It looked bad, but I didn't give a shit, like you said.
It was a waste.
Yeah, I didn't really. But at the same time, I think I was like multitasking when the opening credits were going on. I think I was like eating breakfast or something like that. So I didn't like pay it too much mind. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to piss and moan about that hard. Just there's a skip button on the credits for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know if it has skip button, but I really didn't. I didn't really care. Like, oh, okay, that's a thing now. Like, they did look weird after, like, you sit and you stare at them, like, oh yeah, that's weird.
I'm fine with it. I didn't necessarily think one way or the other about it too hard. It's a weird thing to get outraged about, but welcome to the internet.
Yeah. I can see if you're like an actual artist, you're like, hey, you're taking my job away, but I mean, some of it looked weird. Like, this one was weird, like,
it's uneven, but I don't even care about that. I just care, like, it was a waste of my time. It was just,
like I get what you're saying. Like, get into the story, and no one cares about, like, your intro credits and stuff like that.
You give me one episode, right? Because usually they give you 2 episodes or something like that, to kind of give you a backing, to give you a frame of reference and stuff like that. But they didn't do that. They jumped right into the story, which is kind of cool to jump into the story, but if you're going to jump into the story, give me a background of where I should be thinking about what frame of reference should I have. I feel like they really are cutting off their nose to spite their face. Like, if you want people like me, I know exactly what's going on. There's nothing that's going on in the MCU that I don't understand. People that are trying to watch it for the first time, I'll be like, what the F happened?
I don't think it's made for them. That's my thing. After watching this, I'm like, oh, this is made for the people who've been following the MCU for a while. You know,
it hasn't, or the people who just stopped 5 years ago and decided to stop right here, and you can just continue right there and have no problem. You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, pretty much anything from the blip to this doesn't matter, because this kind of picks up roughly, you know, besides the whole Saber thing, which I forgot what post credit that was in. But either way, you know, yeah, I mean, you know, but like even my girlfriend was like, wait, what? You know, and I had to kind of like, oh, well, that, you know, she's like, oh, okay. You know, I was like, yeah, this happened in Captain Marvel and this happened in blah, 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 you know, so, you know, but that's fine. You know, like if you're going to do it for the fans, then do it for the fans. You know, if you're going to do it for the normies, then you're going to lose some of the diehard fans, you know, and I think these are like, you know, we're going to jump in and we're going to start going. And I was cool with that. I'm like, okay, I could take that, you know, but like you said, I think a lot of the normies are going to be like, wait, what's going on?
You should just give me 5 minute, like real blow by. Just, hey, look, he hasn't been here since here. Or you can even do like a little, a paragraph or two. Hey, this is what's been going on. Skrulls have been doing this, blah, 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 blah. This is where we are, and go.
Well, didn't they do that? Didn't they like, who was talking?
They talked about it, but they didn't really explain.
Yeah. They're like, oh, they were promised a homeworld, but they haven't got one, and now they're angry. And
they've said it 3 times during this episode.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. You know, I get what they're doing here. So I'm like, all right, you know, and that was good enough for me, because I want to get into the good stuff. I want to get, you know, and I want to get into like all the people that are Skrulls that are not Skrulls, and who's who, and you know, it goes to the Battlestar Galactica, like who's a fucking Cylon type of shit, you know. So, you know, so I liked it. I thought it was a good first episode. The ending was good and upsetting at the same time. I don't want to spoil it yet for anybody who hasn't watched it, but it was a good ending. I get why they did it, and I was still upset with it though. So, but I liked it. I liked how they really started because for me, this whole episode was about Nick Fury. How you're like, hey, you want to go F around in outer space? Well, shit's still happening, and you're not part of it. So get out of the way, old man. And that's what it was. That's what like everyone was telling him, was like, you're out of it, dude. Get out of the way.
No, not that he needs to get out the way, but just the fact that he is not prepared to handle any of this stuff.
Yeah.
He is not who he used to be. He used to be badass, knowing what's going on so far, you know, so far ahead. He's always playing chess with everybody. He's always 2-3 moves ahead. Instead of he's just, you know, an old dude being there.
Yeah. So because even like what I feel like with like Maria kind of told him like, you're not good. You need to step away. And she didn't say that, like, but that's what I got from her conversation when they were sitting at the chess table, was like, you're not part of it anymore because you wanted to do your space, you know, project, but shit's still going on. She's like, well, you called me. He goes, no. Talos made me call you. So it was like Maria didn't even want to call him.
No, but it seems like she was pissed off at him.
Yeah,
that's what she was just pissed off. I don't think she was even. It's not like it's going to take time for him to get back into it, you know, because you know, but that's going to be fine. He's going to get back in, but now he has something that he lost after having that conversation with Maria and then losing, you know, spoiler alert, you know, losing on that last thing. It's going to fuel him to get back.
I think so.
So,
you know, and I mean, and that's kind of like the whole Coulson thing, you know, like Coulson had to die for the Avengers to avenge,
come together,
you know. So something had to happen, and he's gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta put my big boy pants on and give him my eye patch, you know. Like he's gonna have to become old Nick Fury, you know. But I liked it, you know. I thought, but it was mostly about him. You know, it was a little bit about setting up what was going on, but it was also like, hey, don't forget Samuel L. Jackson is still Nick Fury, you know, and he's been off world for a very long time.
And introducing this major, you know, character who's going to be the antithesis of him.
Yeah.
Gravik, that we've already known who Gravik is, and, you know, and now he's doing these things, and it kind of makes sense why he's doing these things. You know.
So, what do you guys think about Amelia Clark? Her performance and Gaia, her performance and her character. So a lot of people on the internet are saying she wasn't good, just acting wise, and her character was kind of like it didn't flesh it out enough. What do you guys think about that?
Episode 1.
It's episode 1.
But it's also Amelia Clark. She's good.
Yeah, I thought her character was fine. You know,
Yeah.
we have 5 more episodes to go. People can't be patient anymore. Been just so spoiled by the entire series being dumped all at once, and then just people just had it with the internet sometimes.
I think she's actually did a good job, because Gaia, feeling like, you know, you don't know what side she really is on. She played it very well. I still don't know what side she really is on.
Yeah,
because she did play Nick Fury on the bomb thing, but it was more that she had to, because that was the plan the entire time.
Yeah,
to get them to chase their own tails. So like she was doing that anyway, and I think that was fine. Her dad is still, you know, Talos, and her mom was still killed by the same people she's working for. So all those things are still true. So we don't know exactly where she's going to end up being, on what side she's going to be on. You know, but it just seems so stupid. It was like Talos was like, she's back, Gaia's back on our side. I got her back on our side, and Nick Fury's like, yeah, we win.
Yeah.
Like, really, did no one decide to check that out or think that maybe she might be playing you?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I wasn't surprised at all.
Yeah. I was a little surprised. I was like, oh, dang, you know, but then also was like, did she know about it, or did she not know about it?
They said it.
What?
When they got, she's like, oh, you got these things. Well, yes, we have something for them to chase. He said that there's something for them to take their attention away.
Yeah.
So we knew that those bags were going to be something that they were going to be chasing, that wasn't to be wasn't part of the plan anyway. They were almost like just trying to bring them in to get them to go somewhere else, to not look somewhere else. Like that was the plan the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, because still she could not have been part of it, because she even said, he goes, there's a lot of stuff going on that I don't know. So like,
but they told her when she brought
when she used by was it Gravik? Like, Gravik just used her.
The other guy, the other commander, whatever, was telling her like, hey, I'm glad you got this, but this is going to be used to, like, you know, show them something else. He said that in the episode, like, yeah, we're not really using this is not where we're putting the bombs in. This is just we're going to use to kind of.
I don't remember that. I got watch it.
He talked about that when she brought it back, and she was like, oh yeah, I got the stuff, and he was like, good job, but we're not really using this for that.
I got.
So like it was almost like they're playing all along.
Yeah.
Because Gravik knows exactly how Talos thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was the old guy in charge.
And then he knew that that Samuel Jackson was going, as soon as he saw Gravik, he was going to follow him. You know, like all that stuff. They knew who these guys are. They're old guys, and they're acting like they were old. So I thought that made sense perfectly in the episode to me. Yeah.
I liked it. Any bad things, like things you're like, I could have done without that? What do you think, Brandon?
I think the plot kind of was a little all over the place, or just kind of the way that it played out. You know, it just kind of it felt unfocused. It didn't know if it wanted to focus on Talos, if it wanted to focus on Fury, if it wanted to focus on Gaia. You know, I think there's enough there to where, you know, the focus could have been a little more distributed over more than one episode. I think it tried to do a little too much at once. So I think that was kind of where like the biggest place that it went wrong for me. Like it was kind of trying to it kind of struggled to find its footing at times.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was saying was pacing. The pacing didn't seem even.
That was the big distraction for me, I'd say.
Anything else?
Yeah, and that I'd say a lot kind of falls under that umbrella. Yeah. But that was like the big source of where it kind of stumbled for me.
Yeah. Okay. What you got? What do you think, Brian? Besides the pacing, anything else?
The whole always killing someone at the end of the first episode. Like, I was like, all right, I knew this was coming because that's what Marvel does in every single one of the almost main characters dies at the beginning of the episode. And I was like, here we go again. You know, this the same thing in the premiere. We're going to kill someone or we're going to mutilate someone who's been there from the beginning. And you know, though Maria Hill's now a character that's been a main character, she's been around since what, 2013?
Avengers 1?
Yeah, was it Avengers or was it before Avengers? Like, she's been around for a whole long time, long time, and then the death was almost like they didn't even focus on the death. It was almost like it happened, and they were like, "Oh, that's terrible." It was like it's no ceremony, there was no nothing. It was just like, and I don't know if it's strong enough foundation to put everything on top of her death, but is it just Nick Fury's anger? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that enough to just hit a fire under him to get him to be refocused? I hope that's what it is. But the whole thing can't be on, her. Hopefully, Gravik is actually framing them with some of this stuff.
That's what I'm hoping too. Like, oh, it's their fault, But that like what you said with Maria, that's a whole trope. So it's called fridging. So, which is funny enough, as far as I know, it starts off from a Green Lantern comic book, where I don't know if you're any familiar. There's one of the newer Green Lanterns in the late '90s. He becomes Green Lantern. He goes home, and he sees his girlfriend in the fridge dead. And that's what motivates him to go be the good guy. So it became a trope. So fridging, it's like when the minor character, usually a female, dies to motivate the main character.
Just like
Deadpool, the boys, Deadpool 2, kind of Deadpool 1 because he kidnapped, she didn't die. Number 2, she died. But it's called fridging, or girl in fridge, woman in fridge, but it's fridging. And that's what they did here. They did that to Maria, which I was very upset about. And then, it's going to motivate. It's going to motivate.
Only thing they were missing, Maria.
Any good things before we get to some of the comments? Any good things that you're like, oh, I really like that? I got one.
Got Brandon?
But what you got, Brandon?
I liked the opening. I was a pretty big fan of the way it opened. That was kind of cool, like the opening sequence before the credits. I think that set a pretty decent tone for not just the episode, but potentially for the entire series. I know it could kind of be looked at as an exposition dump, but it worked for me. I liked how they did that, and the back and forth between Fury and Talos was pretty cool throughout the entire episode. Yeah. I thought that was probably one of my favorite things about it. I really liked that. Just a lot of the character dynamics, I think, were my favorite things about this episode as a whole, and kind of left me wanting more. And just the overall, the tone that it set, a little more grim, a little more grounded than some of the stuff that we're used to in the MCU. There's a lot of potential there, I think.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Brian?
Gravik, I think Kingsley Benadire. I'm going to love him. I think he's going to be excellent. And just the little bits we got of him was just so awesome, so confident. It was so something I'm not used to seeing. And I think we're going to he's going to be a character that everyone's going to love to hate. And even there's like, he was talking to the people. He said something like, what's more important, me or the mission? And then the guy's like, "You are the mission." He was like, "I'm not the mission. Home is the mission. I'm just trying to get us there." And you know that's a dangerous dude. A dude that's ready to die for his cause, will murder everybody, will murder himself to get to the cause. And this is going to be interesting. You're going to need the old Nick Fury to come back, because without that, the graphics going to mop us up with it. And I think that's a good when you are able to release a guy or show a guy that's going to be that menacing in the first episode. I think we have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. Definitely what you guys said. I like the intro scene. I enjoyed it. I'm like, oh, it was cool, you know. And then the big end was like, oh my god, was Ross or not Ross? Yeah, Agent Ross, was he a Skrull all along and blah blah blah. So I thought it was kind of cool. But one of my favorite parts of the entire show of this episode was Talos was fighting the other Skrull who was the artist guy. And they were fighting, and then he kept telling he kept telling Nick Fury, "No, I got it." And then right at the end, Nick Fury had to shoot him to protect Talos. And how upset Talos got, because it's like, yeah, he was gonna kill you, but you're like, no, I don't kill him. He's still one of my people, And I wonder if that's gonna be something that's gonna show up at the end, because like you said with Gravik. He's so like, I will kill anybody, including myself, to get what I want, to get to have the cause, which is like, damn, okay, the cause is that important. But then at the same time, it's like, if you're willing to kill all your people to free your people, then what's the point of it? Where Talos is kind of on that side. He's like, no, we need to all live and figure this out together. And Gravik is like, F you, I will kill you and anybody else that sends my way. It's like, that's what's going to come out into the end. I think that's great. Only thing I will say is that until Talos and Nick Fury have that fight, honest fight about, you promised me 30 years ago that you were going to find a plan, and you've been sitting on your damn hands, leaving me to do your damn job, not me. Until they have that real argument, that real fight, nothing's going to get resolved. Because Talos has to get his real feelings out there. My wife died because of you. It's your fault, plain and simple. And that's going to be important to see. And then once you get all those feelings out there, then we can kind of go from there. They figure it out. Anything else before we can show some of the comments? What do you think? No?
I think that's about it for me so far.
Yeah, me too. All right. See what these comments got. Horror Geek said they used AI modify the art, but artists did all the groundwork. Okay, I did not know that. I still don't like it, but it's not as bad as I thought. That I didn't know, but that makes sense. So, but some of the critics are so bad because they're all like twisted, and I've seen bad AI do stuff like that. And but if some artists did work on it, then I'm okay-ish with it. Like I legit thought they used AI for the whole thing.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, they're making it sound like that's what happened. You know what I mean? Like, you read some of these articles and people on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, it was all AI." So I was like, "That's good to know it wasn't." And then Xavier, what's up, Xavier?
Xavier.
Hey, Xavier.
You gonna say something, Brandon? With the AI?
Oh no, I was just saying. Well, people just find just even the most minuscule things to get up in arms about on the internet, just to get outraged about. Stop being a bunch of crybabies.
Well, especially when something has a big fan base, there's always the haters. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna find something to be angry about. So.
Yeah, when it's a big fan base, unfortunately, they get spoiled, and it's just they suddenly just start acting like Veruca Salt, like from Willy Wonka. I want my live action intro now. Boo hoo hoo.
Yeah.
I don't mind you not liking something, but harping on it is why I just can't. Not liking something, that's fine. Say you don't like it. Tell me. That's whatever. I'm good with it. But just don't harp on it over and over again. Like, there's things that I don't like. Just, it is what it is.
Especially as something as unnecessary as it's an intro scene. that puts names on screen. And like you said, I really wasn't paying attention because I was kind of like, I had it on and I was like on my phone sending some quick text or checking my email real quick. But once the show started, I put my phone down. So it's like, I didn't even know until I went on Twitter and I saw, I was like, oh, okay. I guess people watch the intros. So
I just thought it was a waste of time.
Yeah. Like after, the second season of Game of Thrones, the intro was like, I'm done. Yeah, and skip. It was like, I've seen it before, but yeah. Xavier in chat said, I wasn't even thinking about the opening credits all that much either. Yep. What a thing to be up in arms about. LOL.
Yeah.
Exactly. Haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to wait for a few more episodes. How many episodes total will there be?
6.
6.
There's only 6. It'll go very quickly.
And they're all about 50 to 60 minutes, from what I understand. So they're all going to be nice long episodes, which is awesome. That's what I want. I just wish there was like 10 instead of 6, but whatever. I can't imagine a newcomer watching this for sure. Definitely requires some knowledge of the MCU at this point. Yeah. You got to know what a scroll is, because besides Captain Marvel, they really don't talk about scrolls that much.
And that's probably.
Yeah,
and besides that, in scenes, in
some
credits
and stuff. Yeah. So you can probably watch. I think you can get away with watching Captain Marvel, and then getting into this. I think
it's literally. It's not someone who's been following the MCU. If you watched, last thing you've seen was Captain Marvel or not even Endgame, Infinity War or Endgame, whatever. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Literally, that's all you really need to know. You don't need to go any further than that. And you saw all this other stuff before, you didn't see it, you're fine. Whatever.
Yeah. I agree. There's supposed to be a 6 episode of story. 6 episodes of story, so there's a lot to cover. There is a lot, especially with one of the best Marvel stories like ever. Like Secret Invasion in comics was awesome. It was awesome. And it
easily been 10 episodes.
Oh, without doubt. And I feel like, especially X-Men coming into the fold pretty soon, eventually, I feel like they should have waited for Secret Invasion, because then you can do like all the X-Men, all the powered, mutants and stuff like that.
So many things that you have to explain.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you do it now and make it more like a political intrigue kind of thing, and trying to stop World War III, I'm like, okay, but I don't know if they're gonna get into like Super Scroll, stuff like that. I don't know if they're gonna get into that, but maybe they might. I think there might be enough powered characters in the universe right now where
but not in this thing though. It's not gonna be any powered characters in this.
It doesn't make any sense in the story that I think they presented to us in episode 1. But I would love to see Super Scrolls, because Super Scroll is such a stupid OP character that it's super fun. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, but maybe eventually. People with the attention span of a flea, getting upset with everything. I will always hate AI art. You can do illustration intros well with the example of Jessica Jones. Yeah, it's a good one.
I did like the Jessica Jones intro. That was always a cool one.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of AI art either. I mean, you're taking away from actual artists. But but my thing is like, if you're a bigger company and you use it, I was like, then you damn better have put that money somewhere else, but there's really not that many graphics in this so far, which I don't expect that many CGI stuff.
The CGI would be them changing from scrolls to the regular face. That did happen a couple of times. And looks fine. That looks fine. So I'm okay right now.
Yeah. But even like what they did with Gravik at the end, every time he morphed into a different person, it was always like he passed.
Walk by something and then became
and that's always like a cheaper way to do it, and it does the same effect, like you get like, oh, he was him, oh, he was her, like, oh damn, he was her too, so you get the same effect without needing to have all the transformation done on screen.
Agreed.
But cool, man. I think that's about it. Any series you guys want to predict and see if we're right or wrong or close?
I don't think I even want to attempt in the Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole point of the show is not knowing what happens next and not knowing who to trust, which is a big draw for me with it. So I just purposefully want to keep guessing on this one, or just kind of keep myself purposely in the dark.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any predicting.
Yeah. Yeah. And any characters you want to see or something like that, or you just like whatever you get, you're kind of cool with?
I'm hoping there's some surprises because that's what I liked about the Secret Invasion storyline.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
You know, I kind of hope I hope there's a sense of scope to it, especially with characters that we're familiar with. Like we already know we're getting Rhodey. I hope there's some other cameos though. You know, just to emphasize the like the grand scope, the grand scale of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of this invasion.
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. Okay. Anything, Brian?
I just think everyone's is going to be a Skrull. one point in time or another, because they have the machine that can copy people's minds. Everyone is going to be a Skrull. You're going to find out like, oh, you thought this person was someone? You're wrong. You thought it was only a 500 people in the government? It's the entire government. It's basically going to be like Sleeper Cell. So yeah. I'm excited to see that part. I think Sleeper Cell's a great idea, and we'll see it. We'll see it.
Yeah. I wonder if they can get to the point where like even the Skrulls don't know they're Skrulls. You know, like they're so like invested in being a human. They're like, wait, am I a Skrull? Am I not a Skrull? And like they even start to question themselves. That'd be kind of stupid and funny at the same time. Because even what Emilia Clarke's character said was like, there's certain ones that can't transform back just to keep it a secret. So like if you don't do it at all, then no one knows.
Yeah.
You know, if you just constantly keep your human form. But I was like, do you get lost in it? Like, you know, some of these like, you know, stuff like that. So
all the people undercover do it all the time.
Yeah. You know, so but yeah. Brandon said, you know, once you watch the intro, you can skip past it forever. I never watched Peacemaker opening after I watched it once. That is a shame, man, because
I watch that one every single time. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna master
that's a must watch every single time, man.
I'm gonna master that opening dance.
There you go.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. So, man, yeah. That's a crime. Don't skip the Peacemaker ever. I'm kidding. It's cheaper to not shoot them chains on screen like She-Hulk. Yeah, they even brought that up point in She-Hulk. Yeah. So that's the way to get around it. And like I said, it makes the same effect. You get it. Like, oh yeah, they turned into that. I don't need to see it physically on the screen every single time. So, but cool. Anything else?
I mean, besides Julia Louise Dreyfus coming in, I'm sure we're going to see her.
Yeah.
You know, maybe next episode towards the end.
Oh, yeah. I want some cameos.
I think we're going to get cameos. It's going to be more chess game once we get the old Nick Fury back.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope by the end of this, you're like, oh shit, he puts the patch back on and he remembers who he was.
I think the patch stays off.
I don't think so, because isn't he wearing the patch for the Marvels trailer?
I don't know. It was 9 months ago.
Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he was.
I think he was. Yeah, you're right. But cool. That's our thoughts on episode 1. Appreciate everyone in chat hanging out. We're trying different things with chat and stuff like that. So glad everyone stuck around. But yeah, if you're watching on replay, let us know what you think about episode 1 of Secret Invasions. You like it, you hate it, that you just turned it off after the intro scene. You're like, F this AI and stuff like that. But leave a comment, let us know what you think. I really want to hear from a lot of people. That'd be great. But yeah, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you already aren't a subscriber. Hit that bell notification so you can join us live, just like everyone in chat did today on today's show. But at 1,000, we're doing our big giveaway, so make sure you don't miss out on that. We're going to be announcing some more giveaways pretty soon. Appreciate everybody. But if you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna talk about some other stuff. If you're watching our replay, appreciate it.